Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Slowpoke Racing and to the Tyre Shredders Academy Racing. This is our final race of the Academy series, and well, it's been a fantastic series actually. We've only really had about between 8 and 10 drivers on track, but these guys really have put on a show for everybody, and I'm sure we're in for the same sort of treatment today. So as I say, this is the final one. There is one more race after this, so it's sort of two races. So what I'll do is I will bring you the final league standings at the end of race 2. So if you want to tune into race 2, if you just stick around at the end instead of just logging straight off, I can bring you the actual final standings of this series from the Academy. For the final race, if you can see those familiar to the track, we are at Dragon Trail. We're on the Seaside Reverse Circuit. Lots of layouts for this. It's over in Croatia. It's a fictional track. 3.2 miles, 17 turns. I actually quite like this track this way round. A lot of people prefer it normal way. I prefer it this way. It's basically one bit. It's a bit of a wobbly triangle with 3 chicanes in it, one of them being the most famous, being the chicane of death. However, I do find it actually a lot easier this way round through that chicane. So we'll see how these guys get on, shall we? So what we'll do, without further messing about, we'll have a bit of a run down the grid, and we'll get this race underway, shall we? So as you can see, we've got Sai on pole, we've got Ghost Prepper in second, Footy is third. Not sure if I've seen Footy before, I may have done, but Footy is in third, Corky is fourth, Racing Sim is fifth, Vane is sixth, Carlsberg seventh, and Hoppers is in eighth. So that's your lineup for race 1. It looks nice and sunny out there in Croatia, so no rain, nothing on the radar anyway, so hopefully it will stay nice and sunny. Track nice and warm. So let's get this race underway, shall we? We'll check tyres, etc. as the race carries on. As looks like Hopper's got off to a good start there, but still in 8th. Ghost Prepper goes into turn 1 in the lead, but soon loses out to Sai again. So Sai retakes that lead from pole position. I thought he'd lost it to Ghost Prepper, but no, Sai hugged it inside of turn 1. And now they come up towards the chicane of death, but as I say, it is slightly easier this way round, so everybody filters through there. Let's have a look and make sure we've all got through. It looked like Racing Sim got a bit of a slide going on as he entered the chicane, but we've all got out of there okay. Excuse me. So Hopper's just trailing Vane at the minute as they go around turn 6. Oh, as Vane gets a little bit out of sorts on the exit, but recovers well. Still in 7th, he's got Footy just up ahead of him. So this could be a side-by-side battle down the hill. Let's just follow these two. Nose Footy's just sitting behind Vane. Oh, and he goes very wide. Oh, has a scrape with Barrier. Manages to get back onto the track though. So he's kept it going, picked up a penalty though for his trouble, so did Hoppers. So the two guys at the back carrying penalties, which really isn't going to help their cause, is it? So not the greatest of starts for Footy and Hoppers. Complete opposite though is Sai as he goes into the final of the chicanes through turns 15 and 16. He's out in front from Ghost Prepper, who's hard on the chase. So through turn 17 then, onto the straight. 653 metre straight from the exit of turn 17 all the way down to the entry into turn 1. For those who play the game regularly will know that turn 1 is usually turn 17. But as I say, we are on the reversed circuit. Look at the smoke coming from Sai's tyres. He really is trying to punish them tyres. Now, I'm not sure the tyre wear is on because it's not showing any kind of wear at all, so it may not be on. If it was, well, he would have got through half of them there. Looks spectacular. The crowd are loving it. You just see the cruise ship in the back, which has brought most of the crowd. Just next to the cruise ship, though, you may get a glimpse of some of the drivers' yachts. Of course, they all come in their own private yacht. rather than with the rest of the riffraff on a cruise ship. Osai still out in front, Ghost Prepper in second, Carlsberg in third. Looking comfortable is Carlsberg in third. He can just concentrate on trying to catch up to the two guys in front of him. He's got nothing really behind him. Vane is in fourth, with Corky in fifth. Shall we let's jump on board with Corky as we chasing Vane up the hill. Up through turns 10 and 11, and Corky's desperate to get by Vane, isn't he? He's having a look left, he's having a look right. As we come into turn 12, the hairpin, and he still can't get by, can he? Quick look in the mirrors and we can see we've got Footy and Hoppers. Footy, he's having a look left, he's having a look right, trying to find a way through into the final chicane before the last couple of turns. Good exit from Corky. You can see he's got a run on Vane now as we head onto the straight. Now is Vane going to try and defend it? Corky gets it right underneath the rear wing of Vane, and it's a side-by-side drag race down towards turn 1 as Corky got the job done. You can just about see Vane there in the mirrors, and Corky giving him plenty of room. That's fantastic racing. A great move from Corky, and he's got that move done and up into 4th position. Fantastic racing from those guys, giving each other plenty of racing room. However, it doesn't look like the privilege is being extended behind, as a big group of cars, including Racing Sim, Vane, Footy, Hoppers, they're all in there battling away to try and get track position. Now this is I believe it's a 20-minute race. I get that confused with all the races I do, so forgive me for that. I believe it's a 20-minute race, so still plenty of time to go. We're just coming up to 5 minutes, so we're only a quarter of a way through. And I also believe that the boost is on for these races as well. Oh no, who's that? Getting a little bit out of shape. As Hoppers, I think. Hoppers all over the place. Going through turn 9, recovers and he's back on track, and getting back after them. Racing Sim, now it's unusual to see Racing Sim this far down the grid, so maybe he's having some problems. He has got damage at the front and to the front right wheel. Now that's going to affect the aerodynamics on this car. I don't think the tyre wear is actually on, because the tyres are still looking pretty cool. So racing softs all round, but no tyre wear being used. Racing Sim though, we're used to seeing him up at the pointy end, aren't we, of the grid, but he's having to battle it out with the rest of the guys at the minute. Sitting in 6th, he's just behind Vane. He is having a bit of a look, he's trying to get that car positioned on the inside as they approach turn 1, and Racing Sim gets that job done, moves up into 5th with Vane in 6th and Footy alongside of him in 7th, so there's not a lot between them. Hopper's also trying to get in on the act, so it's 3 wide as they head towards the chicane of death. Somebody is going to have to back out. You cannot go 3 wide through there, and they do. They all file in one behind the other, and a very sensible thing to do as well. We do not want anybody going headlong into the barrier at the chicane. So Sai out in front, got himself quite a decent bit of a lead now, back to Ghost Prepper. You can just about see the distance. Oh, look, a fantastic shot, those mountains in the distance there. So Ghost Prepper in 2nd, but he really is letting Sai get away from him. And I think for this race, all Sai's really got to do is keep it clean, keep it on the grey stuff. And this race should be his, but Ghost Prepper really putting in a good effort to catch up with him. Let's just have a look at the time, shall we? Racing Sim has got the fastest lap, a 1:45.7. Sai is doing a 1:49. So he's not short of, just short of 4 seconds slower than Racing Sim on his last lap. Ghost Prepper are doing a 1:49. Carlsberg 1:50. As I say, Racing Sim's fastest lap at 1:45. Now that's got to be including boost and slipstream. Surely, if the others can't be 4 seconds off the pace. But Racing Sim anyway up into fourth and looking to get onto that podium. Like I say, still plenty of time in this race for him to do that. He has got to shake off the attentions of Corky and Footy though. But he's got a bit of a clear track in front of him. He can see the back of Carlsberg's car. So he's got something to go at. So this is what we're used to seeing from Racing Sim. Corky doing a great job sitting there in fifth at the minute, trying to hold it off Footy. Footy in sixth. We'll jump on board with him. In fact, we'll sit in the passenger seat, shall we? Hope that doesn't put him off too much. As with us looking over his shoulder, we'll try and keep the noise down. So this is Footy chasing Corky down. Racing Sim just up ahead. So as we go down the hill into the next chicane at turn 8 and 9 and through to 10. Careful not to go too far to the left and onto that grass, because it will flip you around, and down the hill towards turn 12. This almost hairpin turn. Take as much of the curve as you can through turns 12 up towards the next chicane, through 13 into 14 and 15. And again, being very careful, you do not take too much of that curve because it will grab hold of you and pull you around. Now Racing Sim made a mistake there on the exit and has lost the space to Corky, and he's soon going to be taken by Footy as well. So a rare mistake from Racing Sim has cost him 2 spots. As Corky moves up to fourth, but Racing Sim is fighting back, and now it is almost 3 wide going into turn 1. Hoppers is in there as well. They've caught Hoppers up, so now we are back to a 4-car battle again as Hoppers gets a good slide on around turn 1. Vane just sitting there behind, watching all the fun up ahead, waiting for them all to crash. And there you can just about see on the right hand side the yachts, the private yachts that belong to the drivers. As I say, they don't like to arrive with the riffraff. They come in their own yachts, and of course they've all got their own supercars as well, waiting for them to just drive them round the corner to the garages. Again, Hoppers sliding that WRX around that turn at turn 6. Good job the tyre wear is switched off, otherwise I think he'd have gone through them by now. So great battle between these 4 or 5 cars at the back here. Well, I say at the back, they're not. They're sort of mid-back to the back. Oh, as Corky goes off and slams into barrier, and so does Footy at the back. Well, let's just have a look at Corky and see what happened. We may have gone back a bit too far, but if we have a look behind, we can see we've got Racing Sim. Footy is in there in 7th. So as we come down the hill through turn 8 into turn 9 and 10, too much grass, bang into the barrier. It looks like Footy did exactly the same, and that cost them. Racing Sim, Hoppers, Vane all went through. It was Footy, sorry, that had the incident further back. What a shame. There you can see the damage as well. Corky's picked up at the front and the front left. Footy as well, his car is just battered, isn't it? Damage at the front, damage at the back. That's going to affect the handling. Oh, and who's that that's gone off? It's Vane. Oh, and he's got engine damage as well. So that WRX of Vane's is going to be disabled for a bit. Now, I don't know if damage is on heavy or not. I'm hoping it's on light so it does repair itself. Otherwise, Vane is just going to be going around at, well, a very slow speed compared to everybody else. We'll come back and have a look and see what the situation is with Vane. Oh no, it has repaired, so the nanobots have been switched on, and they've got to work. They've managed to get that car repaired for Vane, so he's back up and running up to full speed. Sight out in front, still managing to hold off Ghost Prepper, although Ghost Prepper is a lot closer to him now as we approach the 12-minute mark. So Ghost Prepper still got it in his mind to get that top spot on the podium. Carlsberg still in 3rd and looking comfortable at the minute. No pressure from behind whatsoever for Carlsberg. A good clean race. He's just stayed out of trouble, hasn't he, Carlsberg? And that's the thing to do on here. You keep the car on the tarmac. You keep consistent laps, which is what he's done in the 150s. And yeah, he stayed out of trouble. So great racing from Carlsberg, and he thoroughly deserves that third spot at the moment. Racing Sim in fourth. He's just heading up this this pack of 4 cars at the minute. We've got Footy, we've got Corky, and we've got Hoppers in there, and any one of them can take that 4th spot away, as Hoppers goes very, very wide. Oh, is he struggling to give it? He's managed to get it back under control and onto the tarmac again. So that exit at turn 16 really does seem to throw up some problems, doesn't it? But I think I mentioned it before, is if you go over the curbs, those curbs are very deep, and they will grab the car and pull it back round again, and that's probably what's happened to Hoppers, as Footy just kicks up a little bit of dirt there on the exit of turn 1. Into the tunnel they go. Hoppers now pulling alongside Corky, so it's going to be too wide into the chicane. Is somebody going to back out? And I think he did. I think Hoppers just decided he didn't want to risk that one. Corky on the attack then. Footy, so Corky is going to have a look at the inside. Yes, he does. Gets himself in there. Hoppers as well, almost. I thought Hoppers were going to follow Corky through, and Hoppers really is struggling with that the rear end of that car as we come on the exit. So maybe he's just getting on the power just a little bit too early, which is what's causing the back end to come round on Hoppers. You can see it's sort of sliding around as Corky and Footy are having a proper door bashing session. Footy getting a little bit of a wobble on there as well as he came out of turn 11. Down the hill then to turn 12, side by side still. This is fantastic racing from these guys. Sight and Ghost Prepper and Carlsberg are missing out on all of this. It is changing every turn. At the minute, Racing Sim is in 4th. Well, they've caught Carlsberg up. Carlsberg was sitting comfortably in 3rd, so whether Carlsberg's had a bit of an issue. Oh, as Hoppers goes off again. It is that, it's that turn, isn't it? It is that turn at, well, where are we, 16. He's been caught again as Hoppers. But talking of being caught, Carlsberg, I was just saying not a minute ago that Carlsberg is having a great time out there, and he's just staying out of trouble, but the rest of the pack have now caught him up, and he is in danger of losing that 3rd podium spot. Racing Sim is hungry for it as the pulls alongside Carlsberg. Now he's positioned himself on the inside as they head towards the chicane. Surely Racing Sim is going to back out and let Carlsberg through. Yes, he does. So Carlsberg still just holding on to 3rd spot. Let's just follow Carlsberg as we look in the mirror. We've got Racing Sim chasing us down, and that is the person you do not want chasing you. Racing Sim, I think, is currently the league table. He's winning the league table at the minute. I'll get my words out. He's actually in the lead, so we know how quick Racing Sim is. So Carlsberg having to really work overtime now to try and keep himself on the 3rd step of the podium. But races, oh, as somebody else goes off in the background there, and was it Hoppers again? Who I did say he seems to be struggling a bit as Hoppers. Now let's have a look and see if it was Hoppers that went off. So we follow him down the hill then towards turn 8. Bit of a chicane section this is. You got the right, the left, then the right, and then the left again. Well, maybe he didn't go off. Maybe I saw something completely different. But I thought he went off, but no, maybe he didn't. Maybe I'm seeing things. Well, let's just follow Hoppers anyway. We're just coming up to turn 15 and 16 now. This is where Hoppers seems to struggle. He grabs too much curb. I hope he's got it right this time, and it appears he has. So yeah, Hoppers gets that one sorted. He's learnt his lesson. We've just seen Corky serve a penalty there, so he's been demoted back to 8th position. Vane goes through, Hoppers goes through. Hoppers drops down to 7th now as Vane takes over as 6th as they go 3 wide into turn 1. Oh, it's getting very tight out there. Vane, a great move from Vane. Gets a tighter line through turn 1 and manages to get himself on the inside then of Hoppers and Footy. Footy in 5th at the minute with Vane in 6th, Hoppers in 7th as they head towards the chicane. Somebody was going to have to give. Corky's just sniffing around in the back there as well. Hoppers in 7th then, Corky in 8th. Vane in 6th. Now Hoppers is having a bit of a look at the inside of water. There's a bit of a touch. Hoppers onto the grass. Vane fighting that WRX on the exit of turn 6. And now they start on down the hill. Fantastic racing between these guys. We are just coming up towards the 18-minute mark, so just over 2 minutes to go. Oh, as Corky's going across the grass again. He needs to get that car back on. He has done. Oh, and again, he's picked up some more dirt onto the grass. That's dirty tyres, that is. Oh, and he's spun it out. That is so unlucky for Corky. I think it was picking up the dirt from the first trip across the grass is what's completely threw him off, and that threw him onto the grass at turn 10, I think it was, and that's pretty much race over then for Corky. Sai, though, on the other hand, he's managed to pull away from Ghost Prepper again. Now Ghost Prepper did get pretty close to Sai at one point, but Sai has took a deep breath and regains his composure, and he's off and running again and opening up a gap to Ghost Prepper. So let's have a look. We are just coming up to last minute, so this will probably be the last lap. I'm not sure. I think it may well be the last lap. So Sai's just got to hold on now. Racing Sim has managed to get by Carlsberg, and so has Hoppers as well. So Racing Sim now moves up into 3rd and gets himself onto the podium. Hoppers up into 4th, so Carlsberg, who was sitting pretty in 3rd for most of the race, has now dropped down. He has managed to get back up into 4th, so he's got that place back from Hoppers, but oh, and he's picked a penalty up. All Hoppers has got to do is just keep everything nice and clean as Carlsberg. Well, you can see how big that curb is as Carlsberg slid his way around it. Now, it looks like somebody else has picked up a penalty as well. I think it's Vane, so Hopper's stuck in the middle of the two of them. All he's got to do is keep it clean. Hoppers should be able to get through and go by Carlsberg and take that 4th position if he can stay on track. And just as I say that, the commentators curse and Hoppers takes a trip across the grass. Oh, and he's hit Vane as well. Footy gets caught up in it as, oh, and Hoppers is off into the gravel. Let's just go back up to our race leader as Sai goes around the final turn onto the straight, and well, he should be staring at the checkered flag. There he is. We can see our guest waving it, and Sai takes the win. Ghost Prepper in 2nd. Well done to those two. Great racing, and look at the gap they've got back to Racing Sim. Racing Sim, excellent run from him to get himself up onto the podium at the back for most of the race. Carlsberg in 4th, Footy 5th, Vane is 6th, Corky, well, Hopper's 7th and Corky 8th. Wow. So that was race 1. Hopefully you can join me again for race 2. And as I said earlier, I will be announcing the actual final standings at the end of race 2. So head back here shortly to see what happens then.